Okay, so today, interesting enough, as you saw on video, this guy that was parked on the other side of the mat with the groupings of cars is now parked by the gate where I walk out of my house. Over here you can see they intentionally parked 3 gray cars forward and 1 BMW backwards across from a red pickup they park every day backwards because it's in view of where I walk out of my house. Not sure if this is the same car or not, but you saw the 2 identical Jaguars last night on video, and so here is another gray one across where I walk out, as well as the BMW, who is moved from the other side on Owen's Mouth, so that I could see it if I take a walk, right? We now have what appears to be 2 black BMWs, one next to the other. Actually, this is, I don't know what this thing is, but this other white BMW, yeah, that's not a BMW. This is a BMW, though. So, a black and white BMW. We have our black Jeep Cherokee, which you saw yesterday. They're ramping up the Jeep Cherokees, or keep parking groups of Jeep Cherokees. This lady always parks. For years, I think it was 2 white Elantras, and then for the last year, it's been a white and black Elantra, and then he got mad at me, honking at me for telling everyone what's going on, and he stopped parking, and another different black Elantra was parking with this lady, and then last night or the night before, she got out of her car, saw me, and honked her alarm button twice. One of the many thousands of tactics of people told to do worldwide to me, not just one nut job, but worldwide operations like that. This green car here, there was one parked across over there last month. It is a green Soul Kia, identical car parked by it. Now there's what appears to be a green 300 parked next to that, right? And, Toyota Camrys, they're big on, so here's one. Let's see if there's any others. Yep, here it is. Here's the next Toyota Camry. They're also big on Civics, but, and you're gonna say, yeah, that's like every car, right? And it is every car, because they're grouping these patterns together directed at me, if that makes sense. So here we go. Here is our other Jeep Cherokee, and then I think yesterday you saw another Jeep Cherokee right there, and then the day before you saw 4 Jeep Cherokee. Some days there's a lot more. And down towards Owen Mouth on the other block over there, there's like 3 or 4 black Jeeps, 2 black Jeep Rangers, and 2 black Jeep Cherokees. You can also see in the Met here how cars are backwards, right? Usually backwards pairs of 2s like everywhere else, in hopes they can get me into the property to set me up with the police, right? But yet the police don't feel that these people are doing anything wrong. But yet, if it was any other person, they would instantly go, this is unacceptable. Now, it appears we're starting to see groups of dog walkers come out. We've just seen 3 right here on Burbank. We are close to where the dog attacker lives, and of course the police would tell you that it's my fault for going out taking walks, which is destroying his life, and he's allowed to hunt me and kill me, and I'm a danger to him. So, you get the idea. You get the idea. Now here you have the lady. She's in the gray and black. And you'll notice when she was on the phone, she yelled really loud, "Hey." Right? Now that's one of the tactics for person to person to yell "hey" or message me with "hey" over and over in repetition. And that all links to a Yankee Doodles employee, Heather, they paid off to hunt me down, stalk me, and have me killed, or most likely just are giving out reward money for mass people to kill me or something. I don't know. But they're all told they're allowed to hunt me and kill me. Hence, why you just saw the lady on camera. She saw me, example, I'm holding the camera straight out while I'm walking, and she had no problem. By the way, that's a black Charger, or a white Charger. You've seen the groups of Chargers stalking me. She had no problem trying to provoke me on camera with the camera pointed in her direction in an obvious way while I'm talking and walking, because she knows that the police, NSA, FBI are on their side of hunting me down, killing me in the name of his kind can't exist, which seems to be some weird thing they came up with at 5 years old. For example, 5 years old, we don't like this child, we're going to put him down, right? That type of thing. So here is the 4th dog walker in this small little area, all at the same time. And remember, they have cameras pointed at my house, so they know when I walk out of my house, right? I think he's wearing the gray and blacks too. Oh, card for you. Oh, you want a card?
Sorry?
Card? Nope.
What?
Oh, the truth. Why these mass stalking groups to have me killed for the last 40 years exist.
Sorry?
The truth. Why these stalking groups for the...
Oh, no.
Yeah. Officer Jinsey trying to break in my house with his coworkers on video? No? Okay. Okay, so, you'll notice he was wearing gray and black, just like the other girl, the dog walker, a few seconds ago. You'll notice he saw me, what's that card about? Who are you? Yeah, sure, okay, right? And then sitting there playing stupid. Now, some of their older tactics is he's trying to force cards on people and things like that, right? Just anything to cover up these murder operations. Okay, so now we have a car, he's pulled up, and he seems to be just waiting with his lights on, right? One of the tactics. So we have 4 dog walkers that came out. Once again, the Woodland Oaks 2, the tons of people parked in pairs of 2s backwards, directed at me. We have some guy hinting to me with the lights on, "We're watching you," type of thing. Now, if you go down here, there's tons of cars in there parked backwards in pairs and things like that, because they want to play this a game like, if you step on that property, it's private property, leaving out the gray areas of life. For example, what if you're going to your friend's house on this private property, or what if you have to deliver something on this private property? It's not breaking and entering felonies. There's no real laws being broken, because properties are built that way so that you can walk up to doors without being arrested and knock on them and things like that, right? Hence the things they're trying to say to me that don't make any sense. If you take a picture of someone in public, we're going to hunt you and kill you. You know, Officer Toro, if you take a picture of a person, we will exercise the law in our own way. Well, you're allowed to take pictures of people, because if that was the case, photography wouldn't exist, right? So they're giving out this disinformation that's just beyond any level of crazy. Now, why are they giving out this disinformation that's beyond any level of crazy? Is because they want me to say it, right? Hey, some officer told me if I take a picture of a person in public, he's gonna kill me. Oh, that's crazy. No officer would ever tell you that. You're crazy. You need to be on medication, right? And these things go from thing after thing. My father telling me that I don't know how the world works, I think differently, just all sorts of crazy things. Okay, so, as we walk down further, in this spot, a lot of times they park cars in twos backwards right there. Here's a no plate or a white Mini Cooper coming out of the Met complex off my street. There's a car down there. I think it might even be that Charger that was hanging a U over there, waiting for me with their lights on. Let's see, I'll stop walking so you can get a good video of him. So he's down there where the black Jeep Ranger was yesterday, right? There is that the yeah, so there's that gray Jaguar that I got on video yesterday. Is it? I think it is, the gray Jaguar that I got on video yesterday. I can't tell from here. It looks like it. Yeah, the gray Jaguar. And then remember, yesterday there was a gold Jaguar over there, right? So that's 3 Jaguars. And remember yesterday I pointed out what was gonna happen. Right, now we have another dog walker. Could be, well, I think they're wearing the gray and black pattern. Right, so she's got black pants and a gray shirt. I think it's hard to tell from this distance and it's dark out, but that's kind of what it looks like. So here is, that looks gray and black to me. So we got another gray and black, so that's a 3rd gray and black. So you know these people all came out at the same time. And we have the 3rd S-type Jaguar right here, right? Okay, so 3 Jaguars. So all those dog walkers, I think you saw about 5 of them. 3 of them wearing gray and black. 3 of them wearing gray and black, and people waiting in cars, all coming out once I instantly take a walk. Now here's a black BMW, someone waiting for me with his lights on, right? Okay, we have a no plater over here. Someone told us to take his plates off. We have a no plater over there. Oh, card view. Oh. Okay, so alright, so we got this guy waiting. Right? I mean, it's blatantly obvious what's going on. Okay, so we have another dog walker here, and I can't see, it looks like, oh, they look like they're all black. I can't really see from here. It actually looks like they have gray pants and a black shirt, to tell you the truth. Now, yesterday, remember you saw the trucks in twos. I don't see the pairs of trucks, except we have a white one across from a red one, and that is one of the tactics. Not only do they do them one in front of the other, but then they sort of try to make it look like things are kind of normal and I'm crazy, toning down their attacks, or I should say changing the ways they do them, to try to make me look crazy. For example, here's a 4Runner, and yesterday I think I saw a black one across the street around there, right? And I'm not saying there's a ton of the same cars due to people buying the same cars, like maybe a billion people buy Priuses every year. I'm not saying that isn't happening. But what I am saying is those people are all told to do things in such a way to send me cryptic messages all day and night from person to person worldwide. Okay, we're not talking about some random crazy loony here. There's a black Jeep Cherokee, by the way. We're not talking about some crazy loony here. We're talking about worldwide coordinated murder operations where not one person thinks that hunting down someone his entire life with worldwide support is wrong. Okay, so I'm more towards the park. At the moment, things look a little more normal, but there is no plater there. I noticed a couple of Volkswagens, which don't appear to be super out of the norm, but they do like to use Volkswagens for some reason. Since they sent Mike Huntley after me with Paul Humphrey at 14. Here's a Saturn, which I used to drive when I went to Southern Oregon State Oh no, that's a Nissan. Another 4Runner. He's not really close, so I can't sort of tell you if that guy's working with the other guy, although he probably is. Over here, we have a no plater across the street over there. The Audis, they actually park tons of Audis on the street. Here's a 300 with someone sitting in the car in the back seat on his phone. Doesn't necessarily mean anything, but those Audis, there's usually tons on the street in patterns and things like that. They like Audis. Today it's not, I don't see much of, I see more random vehicles, right? Although here's another Audi right here. But when you start seeing them in front of it and behind each other or across in mass groups, that's when you know, right, that it is going on. They have another guy waiting in this car over there with the lights on. Volkswagen, but once again, not paired up with any other Volkswagen, so, you know, it could be normal. Okay, so this guy seems to be waiting. Here's another 4Runner here. Now, really, if you think about it, these 4Runners are pretty damn old cars, so you're probably not going to see too many of them together. But the thing I want to say is I noticed that, once again, just like yesterday, getting to the park, cars are now showing up with people waiting with their lights on, just like yesterday. Okay, so, one guy waiting for me there is starting to leave. Damn! Check out those winds, or if you want to use the Julia Sophia girl that was paid off on IRC to have me hunt me down and have me killed, you could say breeze. But that is a serious wind. Okay, so now I think the guy that we just saw move is the guy who parked here by the little amphitheater thingy here, waiting the other way. I'm not sure. There was also, he left, but there was one a little ways down here a few minutes ago, but I didn't get him on camera. If you want to look in parking lots, public parking lots, you can see cars backwards. I think we're looking at two white Priuses actually, with a car in the middle that's not backwards, but those white Priuses are backwards. I don't know what this person is doing here. And there's tons more, but I just wanted to point out the Priuses because I was pointing the camera that way. Because I'm videoing, you push buttons on them and they record. The surroundings and the things these mass groups are doing to... I'll take everyone's picture. Sure.
There's a female that's in that bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Has no protection, okay?
Okay.
And the door won't close.
Well, then
that's
I would.
What I'm trying to do.
Call the police then. That's what I would do.
Yeah, because they're so reliable.
Well, I agree with you. They're douchebags, but I don't want to be.
And you know, I'm not in a better position, but like.
I don't want to be put in the middle of something, if that makes sense.
I know.
Especially with what the police are doing to my life. Okay, so notice how that girl played completely stupid, like some alien from a different planet, right? Why are you pointing your camera, right? Why are you pointing a camera? Well, gee, I don't know, isn't that what you do with cameras? You know, why are you turning your head that way with a camera? You know, and this is the thought process which has done this to my life, but my point is, this isn't how normal people... Most people have enough common sense to understand that if you're holding a camera, and it's up how I'm holding it right now, I can't really show you, I'm holding it face level, straightforward, recording and talking to the camera, you can pretty much put 1 + 1 = 2 together here. You don't have to be Einstein brain surgeon here, like top brain surgeon, to understand that you're pushing a button in a camera, and that's how they work. And you're obviously talking into the camera to record what's going on. Now, you think that that lady here that's stalking that homeless guy doesn't know that? Right? I mean, you don't think she has enough common sense to understand that? Now, I'm not going to tell you that homeless guy was a little bit of an eyesore that I couldn't really care less about, right? I'm not going to tell you that, but what I am going to tell you is, she's telling me, now she has a guy sitting in the car, she has her husband sitting in the car, she's saying the bum's somehow doing something to someone, and then she wants me to go after him, right? Now, remember the types of people that live out here that are doing this to my life are running around saying his kind can't exist with mass worldwide stalking groups saying I've done all these things, right? But there's nothing I've done but be born and start breathing, right? That's my crime. I was born and breathing. Now, my point is that these are these like rich fluffy people that think that because they have money that they can hunt down and kill whoever they want, that they're better, right? Not that, you know, some people have problems, some people have issues, some people are homeless, some people are wondering where their next meal is going to come from, and this lady's sort of stalking that guy, and of course she's saying that the guy's doing something, right? Okay, well, that's been done to me for 40 years, all day and night, 24/7. I'm doing this. I'm masturbating in bathrooms. I'm hitting women. I'm a wife beater. I'm this. I'm that. We don't want you in our neighborhood. or any other neighborhood worldwide because of you, who you are, what you are, whatever, just throwing all these random weird labels on me, when I was actually driving around in an XKR Jaguar that was $100,000 off the lot and a supercharger on it, and they were running around saying I'm homeless, making up lame excuses, right? So you can now understand that lady who is completely full of shit. Completely. There's a black Jeep Cherokee. Completely full of shit. She wants me to do the job of the cops. Do you think she's really concerned about her friend? Well, I think that was probably the same car that was waiting for me, and when they saw me walking where that windy spot was, they moved. Right? So, most likely, it's a strategic setup operation. Well, I can't tell you that for sure. What I can tell you is that that lady damn well knows who I am. She knows why I'm recording. And those were clear manipulation operations to try to set me up somehow. Right? My point is, just like the other guy, the lady's asking me why I have a camera, why I'm taking pictures, why does a dime fall on the ground when you drop it, whatever. It's the stupidest questions known to man, and she damn well already knows the answer. There's a worldwide campaign, especially in this area and neighborhood, to have me hunted and killed, which we see on video every day. And if she doesn't know that's going on, then she must have never ever left her house. But, or watched the news or TV or gone on the internet or anything else. But my point is that once you see those people play stupid, who are you? What are you? Who are you? What's going on? Why do you have a camera? They're full of shit. What's this card? What's this card about? Here's one of the other black Jeep Cherokees. Remember I told you the groupings of black Jeeps and Jeep Cherokees around here. So yeah, she was trying to set me up to call the cops on me, obviously. Let's throw it in the 80% chance, whatever. Because the way she should have greeted me is, "Hi, Kevin, it's unacceptable what's been done to your life." Here is a gray Lexus, no plates. Right? That's what should have been her demeanor or her reaction is, "Oh, you're Kevin Perlman." It's beyond any level demented what's been done to your life. Not, "I don't know you and why does a fart smell," and this and that, right? You can see right through it. Anyone can see right through it. So here's the pilot. Remember yesterday on video I was mentioning the groups of pilots. Now, the pilot here showed up. The pilot here showed up. Remember, this gray Jaguar was parked where this pilot is, and so he moved to the other side with the two others, and the pilot parked in the spot exactly where I was talking about pilots, whatever they are, Toyotas, I'm not sure. Now the guy was waiting down here for me with his lights on. Let's just go down. He appears to be gone, but let's go down and see if there's anything here directed at me, and I'm sure there is. There is a gray Lexus SUV, which I think there was right back there, Lexus without plates, but you know, they're so far from each other, it's hard to really prove anything. Some white Dodge thingy, and a blue Honda Accord. I don't see anything. This orange Jeep Cherokee was always parking across from other orange cars. And that's pretty much it, and I don't feel like walking further this way, so I'll go back. Okay, so I can't tell you if this person's waiting for me because I haven't been focusing on him, but it appears as he has. White pickup. He's putting his foot on the brakes. Maybe, maybe not, I can't tell you. But you can see how they sort of park the cars like I was explaining yesterday backwards within the gates over there. Those are directed at me. Once again, those Rave 4s that I was parking or pointing out yesterday, here's one of them, probably one of the same ones that just moved his car. Remember, you saw 3 together, and a newer one showing up. This guy just got out of his truck, so he could have been parking, who knows. Now, believe it or not, even though there's no matching cars right here, there's like a gray car and a gray, dark gray and a dark gray. That is some of the tactics where they get these mass color groups together. That's a dark gray Prius, right? This is our Mini Cooper, which they had large groups of the same exact car following me all the way to Long Beach with Allied Universal Security. And the next question is, you might ask, hey, someone drives out to Long Beach, here's the next Rave 4, what would justify me being stalked by Allied University Security from this complex for driving out to Long Beach from Woodland Hills, right? That's out of their jurisdiction. So if I'm down, I don't know, I'm down on the main streets, like, you know, yours on Beltran was working on some angle to try to make it look like I was stalking her, and the street, she would say, you know, meet me at Nick at May. No, meet me at Nick's Bar on 2nd Street. So I must have been on 2nd Street. And so she was talking to everyone on the social networks. But I guarantee you, if I would have shown up, they all would have said that I'm stalking her, right? But anyone else can show up, right? So if someone invites you to go to where groups of people go to be social, if I show up, I'm stalking them, but if anyone else shows up, they're invited, right? Okay, you get the idea. All right, and this goes from every female in the world, not just one random crazy one. So my point, is that I simply hop in my car and go out to Long Beach. Remember, I don't live in Long Beach, I don't work in Long Beach, I don't know anyone in Long Beach. How would everyone first know me there? And also Allied Universal Security and all other security companies stalking me with these red Mini Coopers working with them, which match Raven Bay porn stars flannel and things like that, right? That's not how it works. You know, security companies are paid to sit on a property, and if someone tries to break in, call the cops, and that's it. They have no jurisdiction over following you from place to place, hunting you down, trying to kill you, and then saying, if you don't take the sign off your car that shows what they're involved in, they're going to follow you from property to property, saying you can never go anywhere, leave your house, and you're not allowed to be here or anywhere else, right? If someone can't see through that, then they're like a babbling idiot moron that's like 5 years old, okay? The point is that that's blatantly obvious. The security companies are not allowed to hunt you down and stalk you for 40 years since 5 years old with the police, LAPD, NSA, FBI, because they're all involved in crimes and illegal operations. And if you go online and research about some of these gang stalking operations from people with experience or that worked in the security industry or worked for the government, you will see that they will explain the breakdown of these highly illegal operations with the police and government contacting security companies to stalk, hunt down, and kill people. Hence what is going on and being done to my life. So you get the idea that these events that are occurring are way the hell out of the norm, but yet everyone's covering it up and turning everything around on me. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with my walk. I'm gonna sit on the steps and try to relax for a few, but usually mass groups come out with the color patterns. They're saying man over and over 100 times. A little cryptic, mimic verbal terror tactics to try to set me up. Recently it's been women in all black, I think. So once again, here's this S-type Jaguar for sale, which is a fairly rare car to begin with. Now we've seen 3 of them all grouping together, and remember, it went from none to 3 and then amping up the attacks, right? And I kind of pointed it out yesterday, explained why, and then we saw what we saw afterwards, which is done on a daily basis. So now I'm gonna sit here. It's probably gonna make them really mad, and you know, that's it.